I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you a very tricky question on inverse of a function. We need to find inverse of the function square root of x plus 4. Now whenever you find inverse of this function, you might make a mistake. Let us follow the procedure and see how. Okay, so we are given the function f of x equals to square root of x plus 4. To find inverse, what will you do? To find inverse, we will swap x and y, right? We'll swap x and y. So we'll change x with y and y with x. And then we are going to solve for y, correct? So we have this function as y equals to kind of, right? So we'll swap. So we'll write this as x equals to square root of y plus 4. And now we'll try to solve for y. So first step is to square it. So we get y plus 4. And then we'll bring 4 to this side. So we get x squared minus 4 equals to y. So we can write f inverse of x is x squared minus 4. Right? So that is what most of the time students get as the answer. Right? And you know, this answer is not correct. So this is not a correct answer. Now, how do we get the correct answer of this question? That's a question to be thought about, correct? So let's think about it. We are given f of x, which is square root moved 4 units to the left, so kind of like this. So this is minus 4, and that function, which I've just sketched, is square root of x plus 4, right? Now, inverse of this will be one arm of the parabola, not the whole parabola. So what do we get here? We are getting x squared minus 4. So we are getting kind of, if I write 0 here, I get minus 4. So what we are getting here is kind of like this. Now this equation is that, correct? Obviously this is not correct. We are looking for that, and if I have to reflect it on the line y equals to x, what do I get? I should get a solution which should be kind of like this. Do you see that? So I have to make a change here. How can I get this solution? I can get this solution if I restrict my domain x to be greater than equal to 0. Only this side, not that side. That becomes the correct solution. Do you get it? But the idea is, how do I know that this is what we should be doing? That's a big question, right? Think about it. So, it all starts right from there. So when you are given a function, f of x, write its domain and range. So what is the domain of the function? So we are talking about the function f of x now. The domain is that this number should be greater than equal to 0, or x is greater than equals to minus 4, right? And what is the range? Range is y is greater than equal to 0, which this sketch clearly indicates. So that is about the function. How about inverse of this function? Now since this function is always increasing, right? Inverse has to be a function, right? Important. This function is always increasing. And therefore, inverse is a function. Therefore, I have written like this, right? If you draw a horizontal line, it passes that test. So, inverse has to be a function. When inverse is a function, what will be the domain and range of inverse? This is what you have to figure out, right? They swap. So, x should now be greater than equal to 0, and y should be greater than equals to minus 4. Do you see that? So, that becomes the condition. So when you calculate all this, you could write the condition x greater than equals to 0 and y is greater than equals to minus 4. Do you get the idea? Right? So you are precisely defining the inverse function. Therefore, so answer here is inverse of our function is equals to x squared minus 4, where you could write any one of these conditions, right? If you specify that x is greater than equal to 0, this is automatically specified. So no need to write both, right? But that is how you have to figure out which arm of the parabola actually represents the inverse of the given function. That is extremely important to understand. I'm Anil Kumar, and I hope you appreciate it.